But obviously, 2.5 minutes left. You guys have the lead. Just couldn't hit shots. What was the difference down the stretch?
We turn it over 22 times to their 13. We had guys open. We didn't get them the ball. They had a hard time guarding those curls and those tight curls and the flex action. But you have to have somebody with enough courage to catch it up there and break the defense down and make a pass. We kept searching. Can't throw it to yourself.
You went with a bit of an unusual lineup in terms of going big. What did you think of that?
I think I went big because I was tired of the little guy standing on the side of their guy and getting straight line drove. This game's about straight lines, and we just give them up. That we don't make people work for them. And I'm tired of telling them. I'm tired of trying to coach them. I'm tired of it's just going to come down to if you get a straight line drive on, just come sit down. Let's give somebody else a try.
That stretch where you guys, I think, were up 21-12 or 22-12 there. Pretty good defense first half. I mean, and then Culver goes out and they found a way to crawl back in it over the next, I guess 10 minutes.
Well, our offense had a lot to do with that. We're very charitable. No, people struggle, we throw them the ball, make it easier for them. That's how the whole thing started. I mean, they had 3 guys down there. They shot a layup, and there were 3 guys, and 3 of their guys in the paint, none of ours.
Coach, how much of a difference did Wes's defense on Culver make in the first half, and then when he fouls out, how much of an adjustment is that to try to match up with Culver?
Well, you'd have to ask him and Chris that, but I think Wes did a great job. I mean, me personally, I thought he did a great job.
Baseline play to try to draw a charge there. It seemed like it was pretty well executed, and you had some collision.
When you jump up in the air and run over a guy, generally and the guy's stationary when you leave the ground and jump forward, it's generally a charge. But I haven't seen it on tape, and I didn't have near the look that the officials had.
Doesn't, with that kind of contact, though, there have to be some kind of ball?
Bob, there was a lot of contact all the whole game. I could say a lot, but I'm not going to say anything just because the reality is we're 18 for 32 from the foul line. We missed 14 free throws. We're up, what were we, up 9 and had our best shooter on the line. He goes 1 for 3. We're not making any shots, and I thought that was the one thing we would be able to do is have people who could make shots. And our upperclassmen, we thought, we could carry those freshmen until those freshmen got ready to play. Wes is 1 for 7. East is 1 for 4. Logan's 1 for 2. Chase is 0 for 4. Beetle's 4 for 8. Beetle got hurt again. Who else? Lamont's 6 for 9. That's a far cry from what we've had before from our upperclassmen. We've got one who's 4 for 20 from his last threes. He's 4 for 20, and overall he's 6 for 28. Last 3 games. You would think it would behoove him to get in the gym and maybe drag about 4 or 5 guys with him. You would think.
How much did the turnovers make a difference?
Well, that let him back in the game. That's what let him back in the game when we had the 9-point lead, I think it was. That's what let him back in the game, was us turning it over to him. I don't know, Justin. It's every single day, man. Catch the ball and square up. And I'm different. I'm different because my dad was a coach, and my dad was a hell of a coach, and a pretty damn mean coach. So when he said square up, you square it up, or you might get one up alongside the head. So, I kind of learned to square up, but I don't know how you can continue to turn the ball over the way we turn it over and not work at squaring up. I had a guy named Herb Jones didn't know how to square up because he'd played in the post. He was only 6'3", but he played in the post his whole life. So he was there. As soon as he got it, he turned his back to the defense because that's how he was comfortable. And I'm like, Herb, you're not going to be able to play like that, man. He came out every single day, and I'm not exaggerating, every single day for 30 to 45 minutes and did nothing but square up with Coach Harrison. Of course, he ends up being a great player. I don't see that from these guys. And they think, they dribble the ball off of somebody's foot and they act like it's my fault. My fault for taking them out. My fault for getting on them for it. I said on the radio, guys, I'm going to tell you something. Basketball is kind of like a girlfriend. If you don't pay attention to her, she's probably going to drift off on you. No, I look at basketball that way. Basketball is something you got to love. You got to love, you got to be committed to, you got to spend time with. And when you don't do that, basketball gets mad, just like your girlfriend would.
Is there anybody on your team you feel like's meeting that standard right now?
We got guys that go in the gym, but what do you do when you're in the gym? If you can't pass, maybe you ought to throw it off toss back. I played forward in high school, so when I was going to play guard, my dad took tape and made a square. Throw it in the square 1,000 times a day. Pass it in the square 1,000 times a day.
Your bench tonight scored 48, starters 11. Is that good news? I know you like to bring guys off the bench, but obviously 11 from your starters is probably not what you want.
Justin, our back's against the wall. We have put ourselves in a situation where our backs are against the wall. And historically here, other than the 1 year when our back was against the wall, we came out fighting like hell. We came out competitive. I'm sitting in the locker room there, and I'm thinking back to Missouri in Orlando when we were dead in the water. We were dead in the water, and I remember coming in the huddle, and JC and Dax are screaming at those other guys. We ain't dead yet, man. We ain't dead yet. And that's one of the greatest comebacks I've ever seen. And why? Because people say, well, do they want to win? Everybody wants to win. Do they really hate to lose? Despise losing? Doesn't look like it.